All right, we're going to be looking at this interpenetration story over here. We've got a hexagonal main pipe and a triangular branch pipe coming off it. Right, to start with, we need to first of all draw out the two views over here. It says that I have got a 60 millimeter point from there to there. That would be a 30 millimeter side length, because we know that the radius around there would be the same as the side length. So I've got a 30 millimeter radius. I should come over here, draw a little circle coming around like that. I'm going to draw in a center line quickly coming down like this, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Take another center line coming across here, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Take your set square at that 30 degrees, and you're going to draw in a line going like that. You're going to go up to the top here, draw a line in at the 30 degrees there as well, turn it around, do 30 degrees going down like that, take it over here, 30 degrees going down like that, and you can then finish it off with a line coming down over there, a line coming down over there, and once you've done that, you can then take some lines going up into the front view of this thing, straight off there, and straight off there. Go over here, draw in an XY axis. If you want, XY axis, always a good idea. X and Y, okay. Once you've got that, go up over here, draw in the base. You're then going to measure off. It says that the height of this thing is 60 millimeters. There we go, 60 millimeters going up to there with a pair of dividers. Take that, draw in the line going across at that 60 millimeter point over there. Right, I can then come down over here. I can draw in a line coming straight down over there, a line coming straight down over here. I'm not going to draw that in dark just yet, because we've got this triangular part that we need to do. It says that I need to measure up 13 millimeters from the base, 13 millimeters over here, knock that in over there, and draw a construction line coming across over here. Right, once I've got that, I'm going to then draw in a triangle over here. Okay, so I'm going to start out and I'm going to go just a construction line going up over there, a construction line. I need to just get that 40 millimeter distance over here, 40 millimeters coming across over here. Right, there we go, 40 millimeters over there, taking a line going up like that. There's the triangle part, okay. I'm going to drop a line coming down over here. I know that it hooks in with this center line over there. I'm going to take a 45 degree set square over here and just draw in a 45 degree line going over there. Right, you'll see that it intersects with my XY axis over here, and I could then drop a line coming straight down from there, and I would have another XY axis that we could label over here, X and Y. Okay, let's just, right, once I've got that, I can take these lines coming down from my triangle. In fact, let me just draw that triangle in dark. They've asked you to draw a left view of it, and what am I drawing over here? I'm drawing my left view of the object over here. There we go, that. Turn that around, draw in the triangle part over there, draw in that triangular part over there. Right, I can take that down into this view over here. Line coming from that corner down to the 45, line from that corner coming down to the 45. Take that back into this view over here. Take that back into this view over here, and well, I have that one as well. Right, it says that I need to measure out 50 millimeters from that corner out to that point over there. So I can take my pair of dividers, measure off that 50 millimeters fast as I can from the midpoint over there through to that point over there, and I can draw in a construction line going all the way up into this view as well, and I can then draw in these lines over here, one from there to there, a line going from there to there, and we'll show you why in a tick. There we go, that going from there to there, that coming down over here. All right, and once I've done that, I'm just going to take some construction lines coming across from these points over here. They're coming across from the top over there, and those are obviously coming from the bottom over there. I'm going to label this thing number 1, number 2, number 3, okay? That's going to come across over here, and I'll have number 1, number 2, and number 3 on that point over there, okay? And that's then going to come down into this view. If you look at it from the top of this thing, that would be number 1 over there. This number 3 is close to the XY axis, therefore that would be 3 over there. Number 2 coming across over there, that would be 2 over there. Number 1 is going to go across to 1 dash. Okay, so I've got a 1 dash on that corner as well. Number 2 going across to 2 dash. There will be a 2 dash on that corner. 3 coming across to 3 dash, so I'll have a 3 dash on that corner. Right, let's have a look at this. There is 3 dash as well. I'm going to take a line coming up from this 2 dash and 3 dash up to there. 1 dash is already on this edge over here. So let's just start. I'm going to have a line that comes across over here from 1 to where 1 dash is at that point over there. Okay. Number 2 goes across to where 2 dash is, and number 3 goes across to where 3 dash is. So I'll have a 2 dash and a 3 dash on that corner over there. Right, once I've done that, I'm going to then take this view into this drawing as well. Take lines coming across from these corners over here. There we go. Take that across quickly over there, and that going into that view over there. Take these up into this drawing over here. From there, from there, from there, and from there. I can now draw in a base coming across over here, and across over there, the top of this thing coming across over here, and I'm going to draw a line coming down from there to there, a line coming down from there to the triangle, from there down to the bottom, from there down to the triangle, from there down to the bottom, from there, and there we go. Right. Now you'll see I can draw a line coming down to that point over there. I've got a line that's going to go to that point over there. I need to figure out this interpenetration curve. Okay, so you'll see that it is cutting at 4 points over here. It's cutting these 2 lines, so I'm going to call this P and Q at those 2 points over there. Let's bring that across into this drawing over here. Take that across over here from P and Q, all right? Now, P and Q are going to be on this line over here, so I'll have P and Q. Okay, there's P and Q. Let's come down over here. There is P coming across, and I'll have P on that corner, okay, and Q on that corner. Okay, I can also see it's cutting through over here, and we're going to call this X and W over here. All right, X and W on those 2 corners coming across. I'll have an X over here and a W over here. X, we're going to come down, bring that across. There is X on that corner, bring that down, and that will be W on that corner. So you can see those 4 points there, those 4 points there, and I've got those 4 points over here as well. Right, if I look at it, 2 is going to go to Q. 2 is going to go to Q over here. Right? 2 is going to go to Q. Q is then going to go to 1. So I draw a line going from Q going up to 1. 1 is going to come down to P. 1 coming down to P. That would be what I'd be able to see. And then P is going to go to 3 dash, and then 3 dash is going to go across to X. Right, once I've got that, I'm pretty much finished the curve interpenetration onto the object over here, and I now need to draw out the branch pipe and the main pipe of this thing. Right, let's start out with the branch pipe of it. Okay, I'm going to just draw in a line coming across over here, and I know that my true length distance of the triangular branch pipe is that distance over there. So I'm going to set my pair of compasses. Now you can do that thing of breaking up the line, which is probably even better than what I'm doing, but I'm just going to save some time by doing this. 1, 2, and 3. There's my 3 sides over there of the triangle, and I can draw in construction lines coming up over here, here, and here, and here. Right, you'll see that I've got this 1, 1 dash. That is the shortest little weld that I can make. So I'm going to take that distance, 1, 1 dash, and we're going to start out, first of all, let's just label this 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And I say, all right, what is the distance from 1 to 1 dash? That's that distance coming over here. Mark that off, and I'm going to take a construction line coming across to that side, and I'll have a 1 going to 1 dash over there, and 1 dash over there. I have got 2 going to 2 dash over here, 2 going up to 2 dash over there, label it 2 dash. 3 going up to 3 dash over there, it should be the same as 2 dash, there it is, and I have got 3 dash over there. Now, the temptation is just to link those up, but we can't just do that because we've got this whole curve of interpenetration thing, and we need to find out where that is. Right. Okay, you'll see over here, I need to come across to where this X is, okay? X is between 3 dash and 2 dash, isn't it? So I need to come in over here. There is X from 3 going to 2. From 3 going to 2, I've got a point over there, and I'm going to draw a little construction line going up over here. Construction line going up over there, and I'm going to then measure how far it is from the edge over here. Now, if you just take that across, look at that. Just going to do that as well. Okay, you see that little blue line that I've got there? From the edge, note the edge, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there's the edge. From there, going up to where X is, going up to where X is over there, and I'm going to label that with an X, all right? I'm going to then go P. P is, where is P? From 3 dash going towards 1 dash, I'll have P, okay? So I come over here and I say from 3 dash going towards 1 dash, sorry, I've got a 4 down here, how did I get that? 3 dash going towards 1 dash, so in other words 3 going towards 1 over there, I'm going to draw a construction line going up over here, okay? I now need to find that distance from 3 to where P is over there. Go in over here, measure that off over there, and I have my P over there. Right? Okay, let's go. I have got this distance going from 2 dash towards 3, okay? And I need to get W on that. So I go, there's 2 going towards 3. Mark a little mark there, take a line going up over here, okay, and I'm going to then measure that distance from 3 to, from the edge to where W is. Okay, so there we go, go over here, mark that off, and you're going to label that with a W. Right, I need to find where this, where Q is, okay, so 2 going in the direction of 1, there is Q over there. 2 going in the direction of 1, I have a mark over there. I'm going to draw a line going up over here, and I then need to measure off going from the edge to where Q is, from the edge to where Q is, and I'm going to label that with a Q over there. Right, if you look at it, number 1, okay, number 1 is going to go, 1 dash is going to go to where Q is, okay, 1 is going to go to where Q is, there it is, okay, Q is going to go to where 2 dash is, Q is going to go to where 2 dash is, 2 dash is going to go to where W is, W is going to go to where X is. X is going to go to where 3 dashes. 3 dash is going to go to where P is. P is going to go to where 1 dash is. And I need to draw in the edges from 1 to 1 dash, 3 to 3 dash, 2 to 2 dash, and finishing off over there, 1 to 1 dash. Drawing a line coming across over here, and I can label that as branch pipe over here. Just draw in 2 construction lines and write in branch pipe. B-R-A-N-C-H pipe. P-I-P-E. Right, there we go, branch pipe. Note it's a pipe, not a prism. All right, okay. I'm now going to draw in a line coming down over here. And I need to draw out that hexagonal part. I know that they haven't asked you to develop it, but I'm going to do that for you anyway. I'm going to say the side length of your hexagon is this 30 millimeters over here. All right, there's your side length of 30 millimeters. I should really break this up. Okay, so I've got that one mark over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. It would be nice if we could just take those measurements straight out over here, but we don't have the paper space to do that, so I'm going to draw it down over here. I'm going to take these lines coming out over here from each of those marks that I just made. Lines coming out over there, fast as I can. There we go. Okay, right, let's just label this thing. Sure, let's go. I'm going to call this corner over here G, H, I, J, K, on that corner over there, L. Okay, so on this corner I've got L and K going up to L dash and K dash over there. I've got G and J over here going up to G dash and J dash. Okay, over here I have got H dash and I dash at the top and H and I at the bottom. Right, okay, let's just have a look. What are the lines that we are cutting through over here? It's the K and the L. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, well, let's start with K. All right, so let's go with a K over here. K, going to J, going to I, going to H, going to G, going to L, and going back to K over here. Right, I know that this thing has a base to it, which is uncut, so I can draw a line going all the way down from there to there. I also know that I've got this true length distance over here. Note, if you look at it, I can do the J going to J1, G going to G1, H going to H1, I going to I1, K going to K dash at least, L going to L dash, not once. Okay, so G going to G dash, G going to G dash, etc. Note, it's a point view. If it's a point view, that'll be a true length. Therefore, those lengths over here, I can place over here to do the measurement. And all of those lines will be exactly the same as each other. So I can pop that up over here and I can get a true length distance going down for the height of the main pipe. Right. Okay, these lines over here, I must just check very carefully. L gets cut. Okay, so G, J, I, and H do not get, they don't get cut. So I can draw that in. I can draw that in. I can draw that in. Okay, and I can draw that one in over there. Those lines are not being cut. You can see they are not affected by this. But K and L, those two lines are definitely being cut. So I've got my K and my L and my K on this side. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just have a look at this part over here that goes from K to J over here. I have got a distance over here, going from K towards J, and I'm going to end up with a 2 dash over there. I'm going to go from K towards J, make a little mark over there, and I'm going to draw in a line, a construction line coming out from there, okay? And I'm going to then come over here and I'm going to say, well, what is that distance from the edge down at the bottom to where 2 dash is? Note, that mark that I've got from K going to 2 dash is that. Mark that over there. On that line, I need to have this height going to where 2 dash is, and I'm going to mark that off. Label it as 2 dash, sorry, wrong pencil. 2 dash over there. Right. I also have these two, I've got these 2 marks over here, Q and W. Okay, so I've got a mark going from the base up to where W is. Coming over here, mark that off. There is W over there. And I'm going to have W on the other side as well. There is W over there. Okay. I also have this mark over here going up to where Q is. That's also on line K. Can you see the Q where K is? Go over here, mark that off over there, come across here, mark that off over there, and I have got Q over there, and I have got Q over there. Right, once I've got that, I then start looking at what's happening over here. I say, all right, I need to find out where this number 1 is. Now, I go from K towards L to find where number 1 is. Line K, going towards L, and I find where that 1 dash is. K, going towards L, place that over there, and I'm going to draw a construction line going up over here. And then I need to measure off how far up from the base to where 1 dash is. There, that distance, there is where 1 dash is. There is 1 dash. All right. If you see over here, Q goes to where 1 dash is. So I'm going to just draw that in straight away, just to start looking at this idea. Where is my mark that I just made? There it is. Sorry, couldn't see it. Okay, Q going to where 1 dash is, all the way up there, right? Okay, what happens from 1 dash? Well, 1 dash then needs to come down to where P is. Now, P is on which line? P is going to be on this line L over here. If you look at that, there is P, there is line L going to L dash over there. So how far up from the base to where P is? There it is, P, and I come over here and I mark that off over there, and that is point P. So 1 dash needs to go down to where P is. Right, what happens from P? P needs to go across to 3 dash. P needs to go to 3 dash. I need to take this distance over here to where 3 dash is. Now, that's going from L towards G. L towards G, it's that distance over there. L towards G, mark that off. Draw a construction line coming out of there. And what is the height going to where 3 dash is? You can get that off here, or you can get it off over here. All right, take that, pop that in over there, and what have I got? I have got 3 dash in that point. 3 dash. So P then goes to 3 dash over here. All right, okay. 3 dash then goes to X. X is also on line L, so I'm going to come over here. There's the measurement up to where X is. You can get it off here as well. There is the measurement on L going to X. L going up to where X is. And I then have a line that's going to go from 3 dash to where X is. Right, once I've got that, X then goes all the way across to X then goes all the way across to W. Okay, do I have a W over here? There is W, so I can draw a line going all the way across to W and go straight across to that. It's on the same level as W, so it'll be a straight line going all the way across. Okay, and then I am basically finished with the cutout over there. I can then draw a line going over here and over here, showing where the L line is going. with the little cutout there, I can draw in that little piece of line, that little piece of line over there, and let's fix this line up a little bit. Right, over here, let's come over here. I've got a line that goes from K to where W is, and from Q to the top over there. And we know that Q goes to 2 over here, and 2 goes to W over there. And that is the development of the main pipe. You can label that as well. Just going to do something over here, 2 little lines, and you can say main pipe or development V E L O P M E N T of main A I N pipe P I P E. There we go, and that is that job done.